Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday the 25th of August 2018 and we're providing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 24th of August. Now before we move on to our update, we would like to draw our listeners' attention to a book we came across that we believe would be very useful, especially for those relatively new to the silver and gold space. The book is entitled, quote, Stack Silver, Buy Gold for Beginners, How and Why to Invest in Physical Precious Metals and Protect Your Wealth When the Money Bubble Pops, unquote. It was published in 2015, and having read it, is an excellent guide to the subject and relatively easy to understand. It's available on Amazon.com for $7.99 or on Amazon.co.uk for $5.99, and we have provided links just below the video in the description column. Yes, if you purchase it through our link, we will get a small commission from Amazon to support our channel. Small being the operative word, but we genuinely believe you will not be disappointed. Gold rose $21 last week from $1,184 to $1,205, having hit a high of $1,208 and a low of $1,183. In sterling terms, gold finished the week up £9 at £938, and in euros it closed at €1,037, up €2 on the week. Silver rose 2 cents, from $14.80 to $14.82. having hit a high of $14.88 and a low of $14.49. In sterling terms, it closed at £11.53. That's down 7 pence. And in euros, it closed at 12.75 euros. That's down 0.19 euros. The gold to silver ratio rose from 80 to 1 to 81.3 to 1. The Dow Jones closed on Friday at 25,790, up 133 points on the day and up 121 points on the week. And the Nasdaq closed at 7,945, up 67 points on the day and up 129 points on the week. Brent crude rose almost $4 from $71.83 to $75.82, and US light crude rose $3.03 from $65.69 to $68.72. The dollar index stands at 95.14. That's down 0.96 on the week. Well, on our last weekly roundup, we ended the video by saying, quote, so what will happen to gold and silver prices this week? Frankly, we do not know, as it could go in either direction. There is the prospect for a small improvement, but international developments will have an impact on the dollar in either direction, unquote. We received a little criticism for this comment, but the week that has just gone by gives us a perfect example as to why we said this. Initially, gold rose, as we suggested, then it fell, and then rose abruptly on Friday. We also pointed out that Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, would be extremely important, and so it proved. Having an idea on what was going to be said, and knowing the potential reaction, put us in a quandary, as we could see prices going down and then possibly reversing, which is what has happened. Remember, we follow international banking extremely closely and not just rely on newspaper headlines for our information. Now, we shall be producing a video on this subject either tomorrow or Monday, as we believe it's an extremely important guide to the Fed's thinking and its effect on the US dollar and interest rates. Jerome Powell stated that, quote, he expects a slow but steady diet of interest rate increases to continue as the central bank looks to find the right recipe between promoting growth and controlling excesses, unquote. He expressed confidence in the US economy and did not foresee inflation getting out of hand. He also added, and this is what caused some of the change of heart, quote, "There are risk factors abroad and at home that, in time, could demand a different policy response," unquote. St. Louis Fed President James Bullard added fuel to the fire by more or less calling for no further rate hikes this year. And combined, we saw the US dollar index fall and a consequent rise in gold and silver prices. It was quite amusing to watch both professionals and amateurs' response this past week. We witnessed a number of YouTube channels stating, "Oh my God, gold is going to fall to $1,000 and silver to $10. And we saw technical traders stating, "Sell on any rally as prices are falling." What happened yesterday? The same YouTubers are saying, "This is a turnaround. We have hit the bottom. Good times are ahead." And a number of technical wizards are saying, "Positive momentum is accelerating. Look now for $1,300 gold." All in the space of one day after one speech. No wonder people lose money in this marketplace. We shall give our thoughts shortly. With regards to silver, yes, it too rallied on Friday along with gold, but not to such a great extent, providing another rise in the gold to silver ratio. Now technical analysts are calling for $17 silver, when earlier in the week they were calling for 14. So what is likely to happen to gold and silver prices this coming week? Well, firstly, let's just reinforce what we've said previously. Gold below $1,200 represents good value for money, as does silver below $15. With the exception of a few choice coins, we still won't be purchasing at these levels. But that does not mean that you shouldn't. Our portfolio is already well diversified with gold and silver at its optimum range. So any additional purchases for us will be made on an excellent value basis, as opposed on a diversification basis, as we are already there. We want to see gold enter $1,100 territory and silver in the very early $14 or late $13 arena before we allocate additional monies of any worth. That said, and please forgive us for repeating ourselves, the two main impacts now will be the rise or fall of the US dollar and the actions of President Trump. Politically, President Trump had a very bad week last week, with his former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, being found guilty on 8 counts. Michael Cohen pleading guilty on 8 counts also, 2 of which were campaign finance violations, in which he accused the president of directing. And also the Trump Foundation being investigated, implicating the president and his 3 eldest children. Not to mention a host of other Trump friends, employees and associates who have been given immunity and provided evidence to the Mueller inquiry. Faced with this pressure, his reactions could have an important impact on the value of the dollar. He could fire Sessions, Rosenstein or Mueller and cause a constitutional crisis. He could cause a military infraction in order to strengthen his position as a no-nonsense president. Or he could increase the trade war by strengthening sanctions in order to deflect attention from his troubles. Or he could do none of these. This is the unknown variable. So, in view of Jerome's comments Friday, and the political uncertainty the next week or so will bring, we are expecting precious metal prices to strengthen next week. However, we are not convinced as yet that their prices have hit the bottom, and our analysis suggests that this rise will be temporary, perhaps a week or 2, and then a further decline towards mid to late September. If, however, the President does commit any of the actions we mention above, and especially one of the first two, then frankly, all bets are off, and higher prices will undoubtedly ensue. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on Twitter. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe as a free member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.